So I get that a lot. And honest answer is it's not about the blend. Everybody's got good tobacco. It actually, what happens to it is before anybody rolls the cigar. So when tobacco comes out of the barn, it's absolutely not smokable. It's harsh, it's bitter, and I guarantee you, if you try to light it up, you are going to hate cigars. So what fixes that issue is the fermentation. You call it fermentation, you call it cooking, you call it processing, different terms, different terminology, different verbiages, different factories, whatever. So you stack the leaves in a big pile. You call that a pilón. And you don't add the heat, that is, you're not cooking it. You add the moisture and it starts heating up on its own because of the bacteria and enzymes on the leaves. Moisture, weight, and the leaf basically starts breaking itself down. The protein molecules are now converted to amino acids, and all the bitterness or the harshness comes off as the ammonia gas. And I really mean it reeks. If you walked into the room, you'd think something has died in there. Guys who have worked in the fermentation rooms their whole lives, they don't even like that process. But that smell is the whole point. That's the harshness physically leaving the leaf. Every bit of ammonia coming off is something you are not going to taste, going to taste later. Now, here's where the factories or the processes differ. Somebody is actually standing next to the pylons every day with a thermometer. And at some point, you have to decide how hot you are going to let let the temperatures rise before you tear the whole pylon off, rebuild it again. Inside leaves out, outside leaves in. So everything gets the similar treatment. Most of the operations or the factories push it hot towards almost 140 degrees. So when the thermometer hits 140 degrees, they break down the bale, the pillow. And look, I understand why. It is actually faster. You get through your cycles of building and breaking down the bale faster. Quick, the cycles are quicker. The leaf is ready sooner. You move your product. Yeah, it's just business. But when you cook it off that hard, you don't only burn off the bad stuff, you burn off the delicate stuff too. Those subtle aromatics, the sweetness, that's fragile, and the high heat destroys it. What you're left with is a strong, sure, but kind of flat, one note, unidimensional. And you probably have smoked cigars like that. Hits you hard, but doesn't really go anywhere. So we cap it at 105, 105 or 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Cooler, definitely, which sounds actually very small, like it doesn't. So what? Somebody cooks at 140, somebody cooks or processes at 105 or 110, but it changes everything down the stream. Cooler pile means slower breakdown, means you need more cycles to get all the ammonia out. So we are tearing those pilons down and rebuilding them more times than most people would even bother with. And it takes weeks longer before the leaf is ready to do anything. So it's actually, if you look at it, it's painful. It's of course laborious, more handling, more time sitting on the tobacco and not making money or not earning. Nobody sees that, and it's not on the band of the cigar, and you cannot even photograph it. But that's where the sweetness survives, and we are not actually adding anything, or we are not just burning it off. The other important piece is the ligero tobacco, the topmost uh, part of the plant, the tobacco plant. The leaves are thick, they are oily, and that's where you get your strength and your flavor that comes from those leaves. Now, those leaves or the ligero leaves are dense, and because the thickness, you need more cycles to ferment or process or cook the tobacco throughout properly. That part of the plant or tobacco is the hardest to get absolutely right. If you rush it, that's exactly what bites you in the second half of the cigar. You know that thing where the cigar is fine for half of it, and the later half it just turns onto you. Usually, that's the ligero that didn't get properly finished. So that's really it. Same plant everybody else has access to. We just refuse to rush the the part nobody sees. Costs us more, um, takes a bit longer, but I think you can taste it. For sure, you can taste it.